This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and today we'll be covering some news around not just Stadia and its games, but upcoming events where we may or may not see some Stadia announcements happen. But before we start talking about all that, let's jump into the bad news to get it out of the way. Turns out that if you were looking forward to Ubisoft's games Watch Dogs Legion and Gods and Monsters, the wait for them has just gotten a bit longer. This is all due to some unexpected losses left by Ghost Recon Breakpoint's weak sales and overall poor reception of the game. Because of all this, they are pushing back the release date for their upcoming releases, with no exact date for either title being given yet. All we know is that they will be releasing during the 2020 and 2021 fiscal year, which starts April 1st. It really does suck to hear another set of games getting delayed and pushed back. I am personally looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion and curious to see more about Gods and Monsters. Knowing it may be a bit longer before we get either title isn't good news, but on the bright side though, Doom Eternal did get delayed a while back and will be arriving in March. So if you planned on picking up both titles like I did, well, you saved a little money that month at least. Next up, let's discuss a quick Destiny 2 update. Bungie has come out to confirm that Destiny 2 cross-save functionality will be going live starting today. With that said, you won't be able to actually enable anything until you have your official Google Stadia account sometime later in November. I gotta admit, it's good to see the feature is ready to go, as many of us want to start migrating our characters over to the Stadia version of the game. Now, there's not much else to say here, but I do feel this is a good time to plug in the Generation Stadia Destiny 2 clan page. If you want to join, all you need to do is click the link in the description below. For the time being, you can either link your PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam account to Bungie.net, and you can join in right now to get ready for Stadia's launch. Do note that clans in Destiny 2 have a size limit of 100 users, so if you want to get involved within the community, be sure to hop in as soon as you can. I plan on hosting events for the clan in the near future, including small giveaways to top performers, so expect to hear about that soon, but for now consider this an early invitation for those of you watching this video. Next up, let's move on to another quick bit of news that deserves a quick mention, and that's the breakdown of a recent Family Link update by 9to5 Google. Within the update, many strings attached to Stadia are also showing up, many of which are parental control related. That being said, there are also strings talking about store listings, descriptions, and interestingly enough, bundles too. It's too early to know whether any sort of bundles will be available for Stadia's launch, but it is good to know that they are already considering such things for a later date. Be sure to check out the rest of the article, the link will be in the description below if you want to find out the other strings 9to5 Google found out. Now let's move on to some non-Stadia news. Now if you're wondering why I'm even talking about this, well, it's because I'm really hoping to see some of these games find their way onto Stadia. First off is Death Stranding. Now if you're wondering how that's possible as it's listed as a PS4 exclusive, well, it turns out it will be making its way to PC summer of next year. Not only that, but the publisher is 505 Games, not Sony. This does leave a little more wiggle room to entertain the idea that it may find its way over to Stadia. Either way, fingers are crossed. Now the next set of games I'm hoping to hear about coming to Stadia are Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Both of which are all but confirmed at this point. Thanks to the leaks, we have plenty of images and info regarding these games, and with Blizzcon around the corner, we can only hope to see them come to Stadia too. And if Stadia is one of the platforms that these games get announced for, then that would be the first time Activision is publishing on Stadia. And while I'm not an MMO player, another huge deal would be announcing support for a game like World of Warcraft. Chances of any of these games finding their way to Stadia around the same time as other platforms? Probably not very high, but who knows. After all, we do know that Jade Raymond did spend some time with Kojima a while back. To be very clear though, this does not confirm anything and it shouldn't be taken as confirmation of any sort of deal taking place. But at the very least, it leaves us with some hope that something may come of it. But what do you think though? Do you see any of these titles getting a Stadia announcement anytime soon at all? If I'm being real, I honestly think there's a better chance of seeing something like Death Stranding show up than something from Activision Blizzard at this current point in time. Anyways, that wraps up today's news video. If you enjoy the content or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. For today's end of video message, it's just gonna be a quick question. What is your preferred input method, keyboard and mouse or controller? And if it is controller, then which one? As for myself, I'm better on controller than I am on keyboard and mouse, but I do want to get better at it. I'll definitely be switching between the two come launch, but when it comes to my preferred controller, it's definitely going to be the DualShock 4. Anyways, this has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related. The Gen S community is officially over 1,500 strong and growing by the day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.